Okay, well, I just did a whole recording session of this and then realized as I tried to put the footage into my computer that my microphone was not even on. So there was no audio. Fantastic. Go me. Uh, what's up, everybody? It's your girl who is, in fact, Dad Aspie. And aside from forgetting how the microphone works, I got myself a haircut. Look at that fuzz. Look at these bangs that are not cooperating because I'm a sweaty mess. But, hi. How you doing? So, after a long weekend of stress, anxiety, and a touch of depression, I survived opening weekend at the Ren Fair. Woohoo! And, I mean, the opening of any show is always going to feel a little bit awkward because now you're getting used to a live audience that you have not worked with before. You haven't worked for an audience of actors. And yeah, on top of that, we had a new show with the Witch Coven. So that was fun. And oddly enough, it's going okay so far. It's low attendance, but it's a new show and hasn't really been established yet. So, I mean, that's kind of normal. And the kids that seem to take part in it seem to enjoy it. So, I'm glad that they're having fun because, I want to have fun with it. I want to have fun with them. And I did have a lot of pretty neat interactions. So, not just in the show, but outside of that too. Yeah. And speaking of Fair, I actually had somebody I know from Fair that is subscribed to me, I think, or at least I think is. He did leave a comment on my last video, and first of all, I want to apologize for not responding to it on the comment. I did say something to him in person, but I probably should do it in the comment too, because, I want to interact with you guys. I really do. I need to get better at this, and I need a reason to get better at this, and you guys are my reason to get better at this. Not just for myself, but I want to be, how do I describe it? If I'm going to get into the world of YouTube, or even as an actor in my career, I would love to interact with, I don't want to say fans, because that sounds pretentious, but I want to react to the people who follow what I do and, enjoy my work, and I want to feel more like we're friends, like we're supportive of each other and shit like that. And it helps with you guys, because it's pretty cool to be recognized by someone that you look up to. And at the same time, it's a nice way to remind yourself to stay humble, and that's something I really want to do. If for some reason I become famous, or I get a lot of notoriety for my work or whatever, so I get a lot of recognition, I kind of want to remember where I started and remember that, deep down I'm just a regular person, just like you guys. And, I want to be treated like any other human being, and I'm sure that would go for anybody. And that's usually how I view celebrities and, I guess, other famous people, is that they're people, just like us, if you really take away all the titles and all that. So, they're still a human being. I would still treat them with the same respect as I would anyone else, unless, given reason not to. But on top of that, it's also a nice way for me to remember, oh wait, I gotta stay in contact with people in order to get this shit rolling. So, please, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, feel free to say so in the comments. Feel free to comment on my shit in social media if you want. Just don't be a dick about it, please. It costs literally nothing to not be a dick. So please be mindful of not only myself, but the other people that are going to be involved with this too. So, And I also totally understand that, haters are going to hate and whatever. And that's fine, I guess. If they want to spend their time doing that, that's up to them, but they wasted their time, not mine. So I don't really give a shit. And it's not like I would be the only person dealing with this. Everybody deals with this, no matter what. So, honestly, it's a common problem. Yeah. But anyway, back to the comment thing. Sorry I haven't responded to it, but basically what the comment says, if you haven't read it, is that he was wondering why, I don't post, behind-the-scenes stuff at the Renaissance Fair or whatever. So, the reason why I'm not doing that is because the contract I have with them does have a little bit of a non disclosure agreement, and I personally would like to respect that as much as possible. On the other hand, there are a lot of photographers that come to fair and take lots of photos of us. Actually, if you saw my thumbnail from when I first talked about this gig, that photo is one of them. The guy who took that photo is really awesome and really good at taking pictures, especially like when it comes to Forest of Fear stuff, and I'm really happy to see the stuff that he comes up with. But I was thinking about those, and maybe if by the end of the season there's a bunch of photos, I could compile them all into a slideshow or something of not just myself, maybe any of my friends that give me permission to do so. I'm not going to post it without their permission. That would be mean. And also, I like supporting art, and I like supporting my friends, and I have some skilled and very talented friends, so I'd like to share that and showcase that, for their, their work too. I want to give them credit for the stuff that they do. But yeah, even among all the excitement, it's just been a bunch of unnecessary anxiety and stress and stuff, which I'm not going to get into detail about because it's personal and behind-the-scenes stuff that I really would rather not talk about in a public forum. But basically, I've been put into a couple of kind of awkward situations that I really would not like to have been put in, that also were very uncomfortable. And one of them actually caused the closest thing I've had to a panic attack in a long time. So, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that, I have to keep that circumstance separate from whatever it reminded me of, which is a thing I know some people may struggle with as well. What I found out is that some people might be prone to certain things like anxiety and depression and things like that, and yet never end up developing them. On the flip side, some people might be genetically predisposed to that stuff and end up developing it because of life circumstances. Hell, maybe there are even some cases where someone is not even genetically prone to that and yet develop it anyway because of a really bad event or something, or really bad circumstances. Basically, from what I notice, it's sort of a combination of nurture and nature. So, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. It's an individual case for everybody. And also it depends on how people process things and their brain chemistry and other things like that. It's kind of complicated. But all that being said, that, you're feeling something, that means you're experiencing it yourself. And that's totally valid. It's totally fine to feel the things that you're feeling. And I totally understand that it's your irrational brain yelling at you and giving you a lot of shit. But one of the things that's great about, talking to your friends or talking to a therapist or anything like that is that you sort of learn to let your rational brain in and be like, hey, what's the issue? What's really the problem? Because chances are it's not the actual circumstance. It's got to be related to something. It sounds like a very, I don't know, Freudian thing. I don't fucking know. I'm no expert, so what do I know? I'm just speaking from my own experience, so feel free to take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But the point is that, your feelings are valid. You experience things the way you do, and that's fine. As long as you're able to, work through it, breathe, drink your water, take your meds if you got them, and if you need to, and, yeah, And if you don't have anyone in your family or your circle of friends that you feel support you, or, they're not supportive at all, hey, hi, I'm here. I got you. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, my name is Laura, and I am Dad Aspie. If you didn't like this, I'm Lord Minion, and I'll see you next time. Bye!